Okay, I'm gonna need to take like a break this week. Not for any specific reasons, just more like I need to take a break from YouTube type of thing. Like, I've been on a really bad upload schedule for the past week or so now, uploading 2 videos every, I don't know how often. I mean, like, I've had like days off because of that kind of thing, but not willingly. It's more like I couldn't get videos up for those certain days because I either slept in or I was here the whole day, so I couldn't, that kind of thing. So, yeah. But now I'm pretty much caught up. I'm gonna need to take a break, like a huge break, because basically that's all that's been on my mind is upload, upload, upload. So, if I record now, it's just gonna feel like something I kind of have to do, and it's not. I mean, this is for entertainment anyways. So, yeah. And part of the reason I chose a whole week instead of just maybe the first 3 days or something is because I'm already almost finished with Need for Speed Undercover, and I kind of want things to progress equally with that up till the end of that series. I can handle taking off a certain series for a week or so, but that series cannot be taken off the list at all. It has to finish. Same thing with Dr. Mario Miracle Cure, which, one sec. Okay, let's see here. Dr. Mario Miracle Cure is... it's actually right in front of Mario Luigi Superstar Saga, which is another series that really just can't have time taken off, but not for the same reason that those two can't. Those two are almost finished. Or rather, Miracle Cure kind of went to the second half of the recordings. We've gotten past the basic levels, now we're in the expert levels. So, that I want to complete just as fast as I want to complete Undercover. Which, actually, I don't even remember if I completed it the first playthrough I had. I think I just played off of the save file the guy already had and just got rid of his cars and bought my own cars, kind of thing, you know? To kind of personalize it a little bit. So, I guess I'll be a first time completing the game kind of thing, except for I already kind of completed it, you know? It's kind of weird explaining that. But, either way, Rayman Legends, that's definitely got a long ways to go. I'd say it's under the same circumstances that Mario Luigi Superstar Saga is, and where it's quite a long thing to play through. All RPGs are a long thing to play through, so that's why Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga is, I say that about that. Which, by the way, we're coming close to creeping up on my own personal save file in that game, so I need to start catching up with myself there. So maybe I can play that over the week on my own personal playthrough and have some foresight to what's going on. I mean, like, obviously I'm gonna forget anyways as I play the same thing for a week in increments of just story, you know? But, I hope that wasn't I just hope that was not an offensive hand gesture. That was just something that kind of, like, it was a little bit off screen, so it looked more like a fist kind of thing, but it was an open hand. It was a little bit more relaxed. By the way, Free Choice Fridays, that's gonna remain Free Choice. Smashing Saturdays, I'm not sure if I want to keep that, or if, like, I'm really not sure what I want to do as regards to this channel quite yet. Obviously, it's the one I've been working on the most, despite the fact that it's not going to get me any revenue, except for from merchandise or whatever. If I ever get merchandising done, I stopped going through videos to make sure it's... I think I'll probably just make them based off of what people kind of suggest, lines that people seem to like. What was that? This is Ludicrous Thing. That one's definitely going to be a shirt. For sure. It's kind of a thing with my channel anyways. Can't believe I actually had to think about it. I haven't really used it lately. But yeah. That's kind of what my upload schedule is anyways. I mean, I've also got Sunday vlog, but that's not recorded on the same day that everything else is. Or Free Choice Friday, for that matter, now I think about it. Actually, my Free Choice Fridays, I'm thinking about, maybe getting a few other videos recorded for that, because I've got a few other ideas for that right now, but I'm not sure if I should make them Free Choice Friday videos. Some of them could actually be tacked on. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tack one of those ideas onto this vlog. But, because it's going to be, like, just this huge, big news thing, I'll probably make a whole separate Free Choice Friday video on it, because I could probably easily put it into a rant. As a matter of fact, I probably will rant about it in this video, just unintentionally, but that, I'll probably say that for last, because it's got nothing to do with this specific channel. Well, maybe a little bit. Just a tiny bit. But I've got to work around that, what I want to talk about anyways. Not everybody does, but I do. Because I is smart. At least smart enough to use recording software. But, anyways. Oh, by the way, the vlog isn't just vlog. I think I've talked about this before, but the vlog is also a collab day, so if you guys don't see a vlog on that week, it's probably because I did a collab instead. Which is hilarious, because lately all the collabs that I've done recently, with the exception of the Team Fortress 2 one that I did a while back with Team of Dragon Hunters, I think that was a month or so ago. All those, right, and I'm talking about a month or so time span, because I don't do many collabs. I mean, I don't have many friends that do YouTube kind of thing. And on top of that, I don't have many friends that really do videos with me anyways. As far as collabs go, lately all of them have been on something that I'm already doing on the channel. Speaking of which, the whole Mario Maker stream thing, that's coming together okay-ish. I'm not sure if I've mentioned yet, but we still need, I believe, 2 more people on team players. Also, I finally made a course to fill in a missing slot on some of my worlds, so yay. But either way, what else was I going to talk about? Ah, yes. Okay, so my channels that I'm building right now, let's see. Got the voice acting, Jaggy Yoshi, which, by the way, Jaggy Yoshi probably won't be worked on for quite some time, so it's not very high prioritized right now. I know I've still got the link thing in my, for that channel in, my Rayman Legends videos, which is rather hilarious, because by the time I finish Rayman Legends, I'll probably still have nothing up on that channel, probably. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But, as far as I know, at this current rate, probably not. I still need to get a video capture card. I still need to actually get a camcorder. One sec, let me add that to... I was going to read off this list to you guys, because it's, got something to do with what I was about to talk about. Camcorder, okay. Now I'll put this... I don't want to put it there, for sure. I guess I'll put it about here. Yeah, that works. But either way, sorry about that. The channel split thing is almost fully done. I will be making Little Runaway official soon. I actually was working on some tracks. One sec, let me pull up Audacity here. The track itself, oh shoot, I'm gonna have to pull it off of, let me just unplug my fan for a second here, so I can plug this in. Okay. Let me just import the file now. I was working on a new upload. Man, this thing is terrible sometimes. Okay, we want USB drive, premises. I was working on a new track yesterday-ish, the day before, I can't remember. This is what happens when you start losing sleep. Seriously, I've had 2 cups of coffee this morning. One because I gave up on sleeping last night, and the other one because I wanted to seem a little bit more alive in this video. I obviously am not succeeding. But either way, I'll probably have to pause this by the time I'm done getting up what I want. Where is it? More than you know, okay. The, oh god, please, no. Read it all, thank you. Let me just, it looks a lot nicer now. I'm not sure if I'll find the spot as easy. Just pause my music here. Okay, was it here? It was towards the bridge. There was an audio break. I left it in because I was getting really tired of just playing this take over again. If you don't know, I do most of my recordings in one take. Most of them. Actually, all of them. For the simple reason that I record them all, or I used to record them all on the tablet. You guys saw me destroy that. I'll probably leave a link in the description to that video, probably. Though, honestly speaking, I probably won't because I'll probably forget. And by the time I remember, I'll be like, oh, shoot. Well, too much work now. Can't be bothered now, kind of thing. But, anyways. I left this audio break in. I think it's right here. No. Okay. Basically, I had an audio break on the bridge from my vocals. It was something to do with how loud the recording volume was itself, not anything to do with my actual vocals. And I didn't realize that, but my guitar got really low for this recording. My voice was the thing that was peaking most of this audio. Man, I can't figure out where I compressed it. Maybe it was right here. Okay, well, this is the bridge right here. I don't know, it sounds like I blended it pretty well right there, but when I was actually doing the mixing, it sounded really badly compressed. I'll put my music back on now. Not that music. Or that music. Oh my gosh. There we go, that works, I guess. But, yeah, that audio break sounded a lot worse when, I originally did it, and I can take this out now. And plug my fan back in. But that audio break definitely sounds a lot worse than I fixed it and everything. I was just wondering what you guys thought about it, but I don't know. I've been trying to think whether or not I should re-record it again to make sure I don't have the audio break, but I guess it sounds a lot more natural than I was thinking. But either way, yeah. So my music channel, I probably will start it out by doing videos on the songs from the newest album, getting those up, and then going back to the first album I made and probably doing that. I'll probably remaster that album at some point, because a lot of those songs need an update. Specifically because I didn't have my electric guitar available at the time. It was in the shop. Anyways, speaking of that, I have accumulated so many things that I need to purchase that I've now made a list on my phone here of things to purchase when I have my monetary situation figured out, when I finally get myself a job. Which, by the way, job hunting apparently is going a little bit better than it was in the beginning of this month. Like, the middle of this month is a lot better now. End of last month, beginning of this month was really bad. Like, when I put all my filters in, I only had 3 jobs available. One that was already applied to, one that's blacklisted on my list of jobs I can go for, because that company does not do hiring correctly. And then the third one wasn't even in my area, despite the, or no, it was not in my qualifications. There's something wrong with the qualifications that didn't match up with the qualifications I put in, and thus rendered it so I couldn't personally apply for that job. They do that a lot on the site that I look for through the jobs. And it's basically why I read the descriptions in the first place. Because honestly, if they didn't do that, I probably would be like a mindless saw and be like, okay, well, this job sounds good. Just hand my application there. But either way, yeah, I've actually had 3 people look at that, so, or 3 employers look at my application. I haven't gotten any calls in yet, but that's a good sign. Anyways, so let me read this list off to you guys so that way you guys understand what my priorities are right now. Phone minutes and internet for the phone. Yeah. You can't be meowing. I can't do meow combo on the system I'm using to record. That could probably be made into a shirt too. Meow combo times 10. But anyways, if you guys remember, there was a point where I actually talked about this on the channel, if I remember correctly. My phone service really gypped me on internet. I paid $60 because that's the thing you gotta pay for, or how much you gotta pay in order to get unlimited minutes and internet for a month on this phone. And they only gave me unlimited minutes, nothing to do with internet. So now my instant solution is to pay for Xfinity. So that's what I'll be doing. Would you shut up, cat? Speaking of cats, I wonder if Markiplier is actually still selling these. Anyways, next up on the list of important things, just so you know, I'll probably be buying these paycheck to paycheck, because a lot of these things are really expensive. I mean, like, phone minutes and internet. The internet solution is a, I can't remember what the best package is, but if I remember correctly, the their best package was for like 3 to 5 months of internet on one device. However, it's a pretty hefty price tag, so that's why I actually had that set aside as its own thing. Because the minutes, I'm going to go back down to 30, which is the minimum I can pay. And it'll actually give me unlimited. Hold on a second while I open the door for the cat, since I can't pause the recording. Okay, can with the camera app. Go and okay, and I'm back. Kotatsu, and that's pretty interesting because if you guys know, I keep a lot of things next to my head on the bed. That's pretty much the trashy side of my room over there. I keep a blanket over there that I should be using right now, but I'm not. Over in the corner, I have a bag there that actually should be in the closet, but well, it's a lot more accessible there, so I'm not going to bother with it. My microphone moves all over the place, so that's over there right now. But specifically, the items on my bed is 2 of my DS cases. I wanted to say 3DS, but I also use them with my Nintendo DS Lite. A journal, which I have all my grinding Pokemon stuff going on there, all my cheats for the Pokemon White 2 recording, because that's in another language, and I need the cheats in order to know what I'm doing. Actually, what I'm doing for the grinding, there's a reason I haven't recorded another one of those videos in quite a while. If you really look back at my video, it's been like, what, 3 weeks, and that journal is still on my bed instead of over here. But, the main reason is to take on the electric gym, I decided I'm going to train up a Sandslash until he finally naturally learns from Ivy's a rock move. Because apparently you can do that. I think it's around level 30 something, 40 something. I can't remember exactly what the level was. But by that point you can easily get a very diverse typing. Now the cat wants in again? Are you fucking serious? But by that point you can get a very good moveset. I think the typings for the moves that I saw was ground, normal, steel, and rock is the good mix. Or the best mix that you can get. Did I say fighting? I meant to say ground. But either way, so yeah, by that point I'll have that whole set right there, so he'll probably be like my best Pokemon by the time I get out of this whole grinding thing. Which is hilarious because right now Riolu has had that position. Now he can't really have that position because I took him out of the grind and put in other Pokemon. Eventually I just wound up catching Pokemon in the area that are rock type, just so that I can take on this gym. But either way, let's see. Oh yeah, I wasn't done talking about over there. I've also got a phone charger for obvious reasons, and a phone holding plushy thing. It's basically like my Monster Hunter thing that I use quite often. As a matter of fact, I use that more than the one on my bed, which is surprising, but that's only because the one on my bed doesn't support landscape. It supports yeah, it doesn't support landscape. It only supports portrait, but you can't have the charger in when it's in portrait with that thing. So that's something that's cool about that one over there, is it supports both. As a matter of fact, I bought that one so I could record on the iPad a little bit better, which is hilarious because now I use the computer to record everything. But yeah, that'll be interesting because I keep a huge mess on my bed. of just betting in those things that I mentioned. So the Kotatsu being on my list here is a very interesting thing. I think probably that mess that's next to my head will end up on the actual table part of the Kotatsu. But I'm not sure what's gonna happen with most of the betting, because I guess the blanket is actually part of the table as well with the Kotatsu. I don't know. But then we're going to go get my guitar, my electric guitar back there, checked up on. That's something that is actually pretty high on my prioritization right now, because yeah, it's working for me right now, but down the line, right now, both guitars need a checkup, and I had to figure out which one I prioritize more, and that would be the electric. Normally it would be the acoustic, but the acoustic had a checkup in the last 2 years, whereas that thing had a repair in the last 5 years, and hasn't been checked up since. So yeah. And that just coupled with the fact that the pickups have been going in and out, yeah, not good. Hopefully I don't have to wait too long for the guitar to come out of shop if they do have to replace something or have to do something to fix that problem with the pickups, but that is the next thing on my list. Then we've got 360 controller wired. Now this is an interesting story, and I realize that this is probably going to be a really long vlog because I'm telling you guys stories on why something's on this list, and there's a lot of things on this list. But 360 controller, interestingly enough, you guys know the one that I used, the Star Wars one? Not even a... I'd have to say it's only like half a year old by this point. The actual USB port is now in my trash can. I'm using the USB port on it from my Rocksmith cord. If you guys listened to my review on that, you guys know I don't trust that thing very well. Rocksmith is built to make you buy more cords, specific for that game. But it works for now, so yeah, maybe I should switch my fan over to this side, so my mouse side, so that way I can have less cords in my way when I use my mouse. But yeah, I decided I should probably get another controller. First off, for the fact that I have a more reliable port, but also for the fact that it can add more. I can add more multiplayer stuff and such to the list of things that I can do with my controllers. There's a lot of reasons that I could get another 360 controller for, which is why it's a bit higher on the prioritization list, both on the channel, off the channel, you know, that type of stuff. Then right underneath it is to get my acoustic guitar over there checked up on, and that is going to be very interesting because they'll probably need to reset the neck, right? The neck is actually snapped all the way through. If you got, I'm not sure if I told you guys that story. I'll probably have to make that like one of the Free Choice Friday things, because I'm gonna run out of time if I just keep telling you guys stories upon stories. And that one is a very long story. Okay, it's not that long, but it's still long, you know. Then right underneath that, video capture card. So I am prioritizing getting stuff up on channels a lot more than I am anything else. Main reason being is the fact that a job is going to support, yes, but if I'm not making money on what I do, that's going to really put a dent on what I can do. Obviously, my quality on this channel, as a result of my getting my quality better on other channels kind of thing, has definitely improved, but is still not top tier. I don't plan to ever get this to be top tier, this channel. If it ever does become top tier, well, I guess I don't consider it top tier. Nothing less than the best! I'm so unprofessional. But yeah, right underneath that is camcorder. You can tell that I was kind of thinking about. I just added camcorder, didn't I? Like literally on the vlog, I added camcorder. But basically, what I was thinking of when I put in video capture card was of the Jaggy channel, cause if I do start recording on that channel or uploading things to that channel during the winter time, it's going to have to be the gameplay footage, and then during the summertime, just catch up on all the live action parts. Then we've got new microphone. Yeah, you guys probably know this already, but you guys will never see me using that unless it's for like improvised prop kind of thing, because that thing, I can just show you. This thing's cord is broken. Let me show you what the cord is supposed to look like. Except for this bit should be rubber instead of metal. But you get what I'm saying. The top bit of that cord broke off in a bass amp. So, yeah. And then, if that wasn't bad enough, the wiring in this was already getting really bad, since it's an omnidirectional, and I kinda am a little bit abusive in the way I handle my mics. As noted by the tape around it. No, the tape is not around it for quality things. It's because the top actually started coming off because of how much I practiced with it. Like, this thing is literally just for practice. Practicing distance, practicing different kind of moves I can use. Since it still does have the wiring inside of the cord, I can always use that as a practice on what I can do with it and not be harsh on the wiring. That way I'm only harsh on my equipment as needed. But yeah. So yeah, I definitely need a new mic, one that I can actually use instead of practice on. And of course with that comes a new amp, which is right underneath the new microphone. We've got new bass. And I'm sure you can guess where this is going. I also have bass amp on here. I thought about selling my old one, because I know that there's some people that are more professional about repairing equipment than I am. I mean, I don't really believe in repairing equipment that I can't repair. I actually did try repairing the broken cord on that control I mentioned before I threw it away. Eventually, when I just realized I couldn't get through the rubber with a lightly going back and forth on it with a pair of wire cutters or using a knife type of thing. Apparently I needed an exact knife, and no, I can't substitute X-Acto with a kunai. I was about to say kutatsu. No, a kutatsu is not a knife. Which sucks, but I guess that's the breaks. I don't know. So, yeah, if I can't repair it, then either somebody else who's more experienced can, or it's just a piece of junk kind of thing. And I know that bass amp isn't a piece of junk. There is somebody who can repair it. First off, they need to get the piece out of the ear jack, but there was also some wiring problems that that bass amp was going through. So, someone who's more experienced with that kind of thing could easily repair that, I'm sure. 10 times guitar amp chords. That's probably self-explanatory for most musicians. First off, those chords go out fast on me. I'm not sure why. The ones that I have right now, I have 2 of them, and I haven't had to use the second one yet, surprisingly enough. But, Yeah, I've had 2 of them last me for like 2 to 3 years now. And that's surprising because usually they only last me maybe somewhere between a month and 3 months. So, yeah. I gotta figure out what brand those cords are because those are really good. And they're 10 feet long too, which means they, if I really need to, they could reach as far as I needed to. But 10 times I can add more to my setup than just my guitar and amp. And maybe a tuner. A pedal tuner or something like that. Which by the way would increase the length from 10 to 20. I could also add in foot pedals. I can hook up the actual amp that I'm using to other amps. So I'm sure you can understand that. Oh, wow. Maybe not. Okay, I have strobe lights underneath that, which... You know what? Fuck that. I'm taking that off. No. Best philosophy. Just use whatever the venue has for you. If they have no strobe lights for you, then you don't need them, I guess. If you've got somebody working strobe lights for you, that's a different story, but... Yeah, I'm taking strobe lights off the list. Anyways, right underneath that, electric drum set. Most of you know I already played the djembe, but I do kind of know how to play percussion instruments. So the fact that I don't have a drum is pretty interesting in itself. But why did I choose electric is because it's basically the drum equivalent to the keyboard. I mean, sure, you can play the drums on a keyboard, but it's not as easy. But the keyboard is basically every instrument when you get down to it. Like, seriously, the guitar might be my primary instrument, but whenever you ask me what my favorite instrument that I've learned to play is, it's not the guitar. It is that keyboard. Even if I don't play it as efficiently as some people can, it is still a much better instrument than the guitar. Because it is a guitar. It is a triangle. It is, wow, that was a really out there instrument to choose. It is a harpsichord. It's an organ. It's a trumpet. It's everything. You know? But an electric drum is basically the equivalent to that. If I need something that sounds more electronic, I can set that up, you know? If I need something that sounds more organic, easy. For the most part. I can still think of reasons why I want a real drum set over an electric one, but you get what I'm getting at. If I'm going to get a drum, it's going to be an electric one. Especially since that makes recording audio off of it much easier. And then right underneath that, an obvious new amp. I mean, sure, I've got an amp, but the more amps, the better. But there's my priorities. Okay, now I'm done getting through that, and I hopefully haven't bored you guys to tears. It's already half an hour. I am sorry. I really hope I haven't bored you guys to tears with that. A lot of that was technical terms, behind the scenes stuff. Yeah. Strangely enough, I didn't put strings down. Then again, that is a much less, need to purchase kind of thing. I've got a lot of strings already. Even though I don't change my strings as often as I probably should. But either way, the thing I really wanted to talk about, aside from the vlog itself, and why I'm taking a break, I should probably tighten those. Sorry about getting distracted there for a second. ADHD. But the thing I really want to talk about here is, apparently, YouTube to MP3 is now under a lawsuit. And this doesn't surprise me. Seriously, when I started looking at YouTube to MP3 stuff, when I first heard about it, first off, I didn't believe it was a real site that could exist officially under the YouTube license. Maybe some off-brand. I found a few sites that do the same thing, but they do ensue viruses. And I have used them on instances where, for some reason, YouTube to MP3 just wasn't working. But 3 days straight, I had to use that website. One for getting music off of it, which is the illegal way to use it, I know. A lot of the music that I was getting, though, was for the copyright-free stuff, you know? I was going through my music to download to computer, or download for use on computer list, and I don't download those if there is any commercials on them, because that means they're copyrighted. And I don't add them to the list unless I feel there is a chance that they are copyright-free. I found out Homestuck actually has a lot of copyright-free stuff, and considering the fact that Toby Fox is really good at making music, yeah, a lot of his stuff wound up on my computer. And recently, like, I know you guys aren't able to see my computer, but I just want to do a real quick count here, real quick. I actually changed the title of what was the name of it? I can't think. This is gonna look bad when I finally do remember it, because it's so freaking popular. The fuck? Where'd it go? Let me see the EFG H. Oh, there it is. Undertale, that's what it was. Yeah, I look stupid for forgetting that. I know. But, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different, Homestuck tracks on my computer right now. Yeah, that's a lot. And I changed the name of the folder from, Undertale music to, Homestuck music, cause, personally, I'm just not a big fan of Undertale. And I'm gonna get shot for that, I know. Well, it's not specifically, I'm not a big fan of Undertale itself, it's more like I'm not a fan of the fan base. It is a very cancerous fan base, almost as cancerous, if not more cancerous, than the FNAF fan base. Which is saying something. Especially considering the fact that a lot of the Homestuck fan base is the Undertale fan base. As a matter of fact, I think that's where the whole thing started and why it got so cancerous, because, let's face it, the Homestuck fan base is already pretty cancerous as it is. But, we've gotten a little bit controlled as, people that have come into the fandom have kind of leveled out into the people that enjoy the fandom, would enjoy the fandom type of thing. Sure, we're still suggesting our fandom to other people. I mean, what fandom doesn't? But at this point, I think we've kind of stopped at knowing that our stuff is literally everywhere. Even the references. The references are probably the worst. The references are most of what's everywhere. But, yeah. I think the Homestuck fandom has kind of realized that. But the Undertale fandom, since it came off the Homestuck fandom, when it started, we knew it was a independent thing done by Toby Fox, so we wanted to promote it. So we had literally the whole Homestuck fandom, a fandom that leveled out on its popularity, meaning it was at its peak, and yet not cancerous type of thing. whereas just below that it was, but at a respectful kind of level, kind of what Monster Hunter has been in recent years, which is a good thing. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, what we consider a cancerous fandom is a fandom that promotes itself too much, which in turn drives people away. So when you consider a fandom that just has their stuff out there a lot cancerous, that's just wrong, in my opinion. It's not the fandom that's cancerous, it's the people that think the fandom's cancerous is cancerous. But on the other hand, we do have actual cancerous fandoms, and I think the Undertale fandom would be a good example of that, considering the fact that the reason it became cancerous is because a fandom that's hit its peak is leveled out, has basically its own conventions going on right now. It's so freaking big. That fandom became a fandom of something smaller and decided to promote it to make it bigger. So we have a huge fandom becoming a small fandom, and it's not a small fandom, you know? Like a complete transfer fandom type of thing. So yeah, that would be why I think the Undertale fandom kind of became cancerous. And I hope it levels out at some point. But I refuse to play the game until it gets a port to the Wii U. If ever. I know I made a mistake in saying that it was getting a port to the Wii U in a previous video. That was a long time ago. But, yeah. Man, I made that point a lot longer than I meant to, because I wasn't even talking about fandoms. But you know what? That's something that needs to be said anyways. See, this is what I'm saying. I've got a lot of things to talk about as it is. And if I don't get them out in this vlog, it's just going to become this huge thing where as soon as I make a video on one thing specific, other things are just going to bleed in. So, might as well get it all out in this vlog. Anyways, this vlog wasn't supposed to be about fandoms, but about this lawsuit that YouTube to MP3 is going through. Now, like I said, I used the site 3 days in a row. Like I said, again, for music, I went in for sound effects. The final sound effect I want to download, so yeah, you can tell I've already got this order out of line, but it's just to try and keep you guys like updated on what's going on here. It's making it easier for me to remember, basically, kind of thing. I don't know. But that was the only sound effect that didn't transfer correctly. I tested the site out with some other tracks, because my mom had gone through something like that not that long ago, because she's starting to use YouTube MP3. I actually had to break the news to her, because she started using it quite heavily, because we taught her how to use it, so that way she wouldn't bother us when she wants something on her MP3. Like, yeah, sure, I'll waste my time putting stuff on your MP3 for you. That's something you should be doing. If you're gonna pirate music, do it yourself. I guess that's probably why Dad quit pirating music for me at a certain point. I don't know how many years he did pirate music for me, but there's probably more than it should have been. Because during that time, I had no idea what my stance on music piracy was, and my stance is still very mixed. Because I know why you'd want to pirate music, and I also know why you shouldn't pirate music. And I feel like there should be like a middle ground, which is something that just, I don't know, you know? I'm not sure what that middle ground is, kind of thing. I want to say that the records should be paid for, but at the same time, I know that the way that the music industry currently is working, musicians aren't getting paid for their, at least if they're not indie musicians, they're not getting paid for their albums. The record company that made the album is getting paid for that album. They're probably getting maybe 2% cut. They're getting paid off of the merch tables at their shows and the tickets to their shows. So, what are my thoughts? I don't know. The people that are getting paid for the actual production of the music isn't the people that should be. So, it really depends on the times kind of thing, in my opinion. Personally, I feel if you support the artist, then you should buy their music. But if you don't, then download? I don't know. I have a huge mixture. You can tell, right now it's a very leveled thing. And I will tell you now, I'm going to say right now, the big cases are the pirated stuff, but there's also some big case stuff that isn't pirated. I wonder, yeah, that one's pirated. But you know what? This one was pirated to be a, prequel to a concert I was going to, kind of thing that Dad made for me. He does that for me whenever we go to concerts. This one is a, actual record. The case broke on me, so I had to put it in a in a different case. Let's see here. There's one that I really wanted to, whoa! That's pirated too, by the way. But you know what? That one's not too bad. Pirated. Yeah, a lot of these, small case ones are pirated too. Not all of them. This one's not. I actually bought that one off a merch table, so. Let's see here. I'm trying to find it specific. Here it is. Yeah, and it's even signed. So, there you go. Oh, and this isn't just a CD. This is also a DVD. No, it's not that double disc type thing. I do have one of those, but it's not that. It's one of those cases that hold 2 discs. So, yeah. Not all of those are pirated. But you can tell, looking at that my music is pretty equal on what I paid for and what I've pirated. Right now, since I have no money, I am kind of pirating whatever music I add. But at the same time, what I do add is usually just mixes. Because I feel if I'm going to pirate it, might as well give me a reason to still buy the album. That's my philosophy on it. So, yeah. But either way, just so you know, I do not condone piracy, but I don't not condone it either. There is reasons to it and reasons you shouldn't do it. But getting that out of the way, even if I say that I don't condone piracy, I'd still say there is a reason YouTube to MP3 should exist. Now, when I first heard of YouTube to MP3, I was immediately freaked. Because I only heard about it when I started getting a little bit more serious about my music. When I started in the music industry kind of thing, or started playing music, I wasn't doing it as serious as I do it now kind of thing. It was just a hobby kind of thing. Something that I was kind of getting good at, but, you know, didn't think I would do professionally at that time. I mean, I considered it as an option, but at that time, I just wasn't as good as I am now. And actually now I've gotten really good to the point where I can learn instruments within probably a week. I can learn, or I have learned to do my own recordings, that kind of thing. And if you guys are wondering why I don't use my own recordings in this music, by the way, when I do these vlogs and other things, by the way, it is because my voice contrasts my own voice, if that makes any sense. Basically, if it's not going the same frequency, it's going to sound bad, because it's the same voice. Even if my voice does sound a little bit different singing, it is still my voice, the voice that I use naturally. So you're hearing two me's basically when that happens. And those will contrast, you won't know what to focus on. Even if I turn the volume to a really low, respectful level. At least that's what I heard when I tried editing one of my songs into the background at one point. Because yes, sometimes I do forget to not edit it in, but sometimes I do forget to do it live on these recordings. I haven't done that lately, as obvious, because I've been doing it right now. I can't even prove it. Watch. I'll skip the track right now. But as a result, I've been messing with the volume as I've been doing this recording as well, so. Because these tracks are unbalanced. They did come from YouTube after all. Speaking of which, I still have a workaround with this. YouTube to MP3 being down because of a lawsuit right now, and no, it's not completely down. The site still exists, but if you try to convert anything, they will say they're under maintenance, try again in an hour. Which is actually pretty ironic, considering the fact that a lawsuit has never lasted an hour. I don't know what Google's thinking. Maybe they're thinking, if we pay enough money, maybe we'll solve all our problems. That's not gonna work forever, YouTube. That's not gonna work forever, Google. Sometimes you gotta think, who are these assholes that run Google? They do a really poor job. I mean, provided they do a lot of things, so the fact that they do a poor job is a little bit excusable, and I love the fact that I've got like dual music right in the background right now. Me versus Google right now. Sorry, gotta recollect my thoughts here. Sorry, that's... Okay. Getting my thoughts back together, let's see, where was I? No, it's not gonna be an hour. It's down because of the lawsuit from what I read. I started wondering what was going on after these 3 instances of wrecking with YouTube and the site being down. After that, I was like, okay, the fuck is going on? And by the way, the 3rd instance was, I was thinking of something I could do with, my channel. It will unfortunately mean I'll have to use the camera for vlogs and such. As it is a intro-outro thing. I'm not sure if I entirely want to use it yet, though, considering the fact that these videos on OBS still cannot be edited on my Power Director. I'm not sure what the hell's wrong with OBS's videos that doesn't allow me to edit in Power Director, but it drives me insane, as you can tell, because there'd be plenty of points where it would have been good for me to have jump cutted in this video so far that I just won't be able to do since I can't edit. And the fact that there's no pause the record button just doesn't help, you know? But so yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I'll do with that right now. But either way, I'm gonna leave that aside. I might upload a sample of the intro I have in mind, because I do have the track already in store. I'm not sure if I've used it before. I might have, as a test on OBS kind of thing, and I uploaded that to YouTube. But if I did, I don't remember it. Like, I remember doing something similar and then scrapping the recording, but I might have uploaded it. So, I don't know. You guys have probably heard the intro already, but I think the intro could probably be done much better edited. So, not live kind of thing. Because when I did it live, it was, I pulled the track up, played it, and as I played it, when it finished, I would take off the image I had for the intro, and then take my audio player down. And that did not work out so well, because the audio player wanted to repeat the track. On top of that, deleting the image itself was a chore, especially since I had to say my intro as soon as the intro to the video is already over. I mean, like, music intro type thing, and then intro vocally. I don't know exactly how to explain it. Alright, so why is this detrimental to me specifically? Well, for my voice acting channel, I'm not sure if you read the credits in the description for the voice acting video that I put up last week, or yesterday, now the day before, or whatever. I don't know when I'll be uploading this. It'll definitely be this week though. So, the video I'm referring to was uploaded last week. If you read the credits, you know I got my sound effects from YouTube. Most of them. Some of them were produced outside of YouTube. I had to produce them myself. Specifically the Portal sound effects, I had to produce that by myself. I used my keyboard actually for that. Like I said, it's everything. It's not just instruments, it's also sound effects. But no, I did use an instrument that had like a no end type sound, but when I held it for long enough, it started to sound kind of like Spyro portals. And then I put some effects over that, overlaid some effects on that, and it sounded even more like its own type of portal. So, eventually it became its own portal sound. Of course, I cheesily put it in. And you guys have probably already, yeah, you guys have already heard it. I didn't sample it for you guys, but you guys have heard it in the, upload. Because there's only one, there was quite a bit more during that time that I needed, but there's only one more sound effect I need, and then I'm going to move straight on to the background music. That's going to be fun. I did think about taking one of the Homestuck recordings and putting that in, or one of the Monster Hunter recordings and putting that in for the background music, but since I want this voice acting channel to be completely authentic, or as authentic as possible, obviously the sound effects aren't going to be as authentic, because sound effects are hard to get, you know, most of them. But since I want to be authentic with that, sorry, I was trying to think what I was saying and had to breathe at the same time there. That wasn't any depression thing, even though I could have updated you guys on that. Could have. Should have, probably. But haven't. And damn, there was another thing I wanted to talk about in this vlog that I have just been talking too long about other things to talk about, and I won't be talking about it in this vlog. So, wait till my next vlog. I'll talk about it. But, until that point, I want to continue on with this point. So, where was my point? Man, if only I could look back. That'd be useful. Too bad I can't edit. Now I gotta think. Ah yes, because I wanted my music in this recording to sound, or my music to be as authentic to what I have available to me as possible, I'm going to be recording my own music for this. Especially since I don't want any music recordings in the background that aren't advertised. Basically, it's an advertisement thing. I'm going to be advertising my own music career with this voice acting thing, so no vocal tracks will be on this. Thank the Lord. I will have to do complete my own recording type stuff with this. However, at the same time, it will be promoting my music. I do have up in the description, I'm pretty sure I showed you guys that description already, that I will, if you are willing to pay me money, I will put your tracks in as the background tracks. Provided I like them and I feel they fit, type of thing. I might ask you to record something yourself. I don't know. I can't do all my own backings after all, but I am definitely just as happy with promoting other artists and such, so long as I know that it's not going to screw me over in the end. Kind of like what it did when I tried promoting one of my friends on this channel. I didn't even use the full track. I did use a clipping, which is completely fair use, within fair use. It was just a clipping of their music, and I did put information right there in the video, right where the freaking stuff was, and I did get DMC'd over that. So, lesson learned, unless I'm being paid, I ain't putting in anybody's music for promotion, even if they're my friends. Sorry, Matt Moore, I did have you in mind for an outro as well, but yeah, I don't think you're really going pro anyways, the way you've been going lately. Like, your music's good, yes. Sorry, I have to itch. This is not professional at all. But you know what? I'm talking a lot anyways. It's bound to happen. Things like that. But at this rate, Matt Moore has kind of become this huge local act. But I don't think he'll be anything but, because he's too focused on other things. And I get that. I can respect that. He's got the potential to go pro, but he has to act upon it, kind of thing. He's already basically there, and encoding overloaded considered. Oh gosh. Anyways, I should probably end the video soon. With that kind of thing, basically what I figured is, there's just tracks that I need to consider whether or not I can actually put them into my videos. I did originally have a CFL video, or a CFL rip video on this channel a long time ago, but I only put that in there because I couldn't find anything on it, nothing official, that kind of stuff. I mean, really, a lot of these musicians don't realize they can make ad revenue on YouTube just for having their music up on YouTube, and that's quite a damn shame. So anyways, since I couldn't find anything official, I did do a straight rip on that. No DMCs, thank the Lord. of course, at that time, I wasn't concerned with it on that channel. As a matter of fact, I made this channel originally to put stuff up and avoid DMCs. But originally, I had to record that for a playlist that I made called Music on Sexual Abuse Awareness. That playlist will probably still exist. I'm not adding anything to it anymore, but there is quite a bit of stuff in it already. Anyways, and I could think of other things to add to it, but the reason I'm not adding anything to it is because it was a thing that I was doing with the record label that I had made and was working with at the time. And at this point, that record label no longer exists. Why? Because I would be the only one running it, and that's just too much work. If you guys know, I did have a producer on my first album. Even if my first album was shit, it did have a producer. So, it did sound at least decent-ish. I'm still not happy with the complete turnout of that album, which is why I've been considering doing a remastering of it before releasing it to the making it as public as what I'm planning on making the rest of my albums. So yeah, basically my stance on this is, I feel that YouTube to MP3 does have its purpose, but at the same time, they don't police it well enough. Really, I don't even think the problem is YouTube to MP3, because here's what I found. Official channels, official musician channels, recognized official musician channels, I should say, and Vivo channels, those don't get DMCA'd, or that's not what I meant to say, though they don't, but they're built not to. Those have a license on them to have those specific videos uploaded, and then when you try to put any of those videos up, or download any of those videos through YouTube to MP3, it's not going to work. Reason being is that license protects the audio in the video. So yes, even if it's from Billy Joel's Vivo, because we all know how dumb his Vivo channel is. Seriously, his Vivo channel is not based around his music, it's based around interviews and such. Not saying that's dumb in itself, I'm just saying that that's not what Vivo should be about. Vivo should be about the music. That's why they exist. But you try putting that through YouTube to MP3, and it's not going to download. They're going to say it won't download due to copyright reasons. However, you can find the same exact track on some guy's channel, and the track wasn't DMCA'd. So you can just download that. Sorry. You can just take that and download it. Or if it has been DMCA'd, it was DMCA'd so that the ads are there for the artist to get. Man, I need to drink water. The ads are there so that way the people that put the ads there are getting the monetization, ad revenue, whatever, instead of the people who put the video on the channel. There's channels devoted to putting this illegally upload stuff up on YouTube. Ah! There are videos or channels uploading these videos that are literally just rips of music from official CDs and such. And this is going to hurt artists in the long run if these channels, the videos that these channels are putting up can be downloaded from the YouTube to MP3. However, On the other hand, we have copyright-free music on YouTube, like a lot of what I have on here, anime, video game, old video game music, not new video game music. If you download something from Final Fantasy or some of the newer Nintendo games, you're going to get DMCA'd. No question about it. All my newer Nintendo game footage gets DMCA'd. I think, yeah, YouTube did have a program to protect you against that. However, they're not striking their older stuff. So, Super Mario World music is perfectly okay to be used. So long as you're not using the version from Mario Maker. Which I don't even hear much of a difference. So, I still need to figure out what I'm going to do about... I'm not sure if I want to eventually download a bunch of tracks from Dr. Mario and put that on my computer for use on my Dr. Mario videos or not. But by this point I'm already almost finished with that series. I feel like I should just keep the natural audio in anyways. And like you guys know, I only try and, you know, make sure I'm not getting DMCA'd because, why do I? I can't remember right now. I'm sure you guys know why, though I've probably mentioned in other videos. And if not, I will mention it in other videos, I'm sure of it, because, let's be honest, I'm the guy speaking out against record companies and the way they handle things. I mean, I've had my best video on that has been my 5-finger death punch video, but I've probably had at least 3 or 4 videos on this channel so far of vlogs where I just bash the copyright system, or how record companies are handling copyrights, or why I don't like record companies right now, because they really do think they own the artist and what the artist is making, which they don't. They own maybe no, they don't even own that. Here's what happens when you go into a recording studio. You pay the person who's recording the album for you. They get paid by the hour for all the work that they do. So they'll probably, first off, pull off some asshole moves to get as much cash out of you anyways. But, and putting that aside, even if they do their fastest work, they're still getting paid for that work, you know? But when the album gets out, who's getting paid for this? Tell me, who really is getting paid for this album? It almost never is the artist. Why? Because when you go into a recording studio, you're usually doing it under a record label. And these record labels are the real assholes. Now, record labels. What are their importance? Well, promotion and recording. Both. They're a package deal. Oh, and don't forget licensing. Your music isn't licensed unless you're under a record label. This is the problem with being an indie artist. You can't police your music if you're an indie artist. At least not as well. Because you have to get it copyrighted manually. And that's just too much work. Almost never, no indie artists do that. First off, you gotta pay for it to be copyrighted. But then, yeah, all that. So, anyways, back to the record company. They're paying for you to have this promoter who puts your music out on these websites and everything, and sends it out to venues that might want to have you play for them. Speaking of which, I do need to speak to some of my friends in music. I actually have a Facebook group for this, only for people that are actually serious about this kind of thing, who have anything to do with the entertainment business. Actually, I have a lot of different spectrums of that in the friends in music. And no, it's not just people that can record it or make music. There's also the people that can do engineering work on lighting and such for live shows. There's people that can give you live shows in that music or in that group. So yeah, that group has been built to help, for musicians to help one another. Anyways, the promoter is there to get you your live shows where you will be getting paid. That's the only place you get paid. And if you're under a record label, you're only getting 50 cut on that. If even. Who knows? That part is almost always super negotiable. That's where the majority of your income as an artist is going to come from. That and the merch table at that live show. As a matter of fact, probably more so the merch table than the show itself. Which is pretty sad, because unlike most... I'm not like most people. I obviously support who I watch, even if I don't do it straight away. I mean, like I pointed out earlier, I do copyright some music. Grab some music and copy it and put it on albums. It's not like I'm selling them anyways. And there's instant access to that music as it is. So, but even if I'm not supporting them in buying their albums, I use music services such as Spotify and Amazon. That's where things really get confusing, because first off, indie musicians only get 10% cut on the ad revenue from that. Ad revenue already isn't very big, so you're probably getting like 50 cents for every play. So the more plays, I guess, the better. But who's going to play your music constantly 1,000 times per month? I don't know. Personally, if I were to put in a views per month type thing I would assume it'd be a lot lower than you expect. YouTube accumulates views over time, so when you look at a popular video on YouTube, or whatever, a popular song on YouTube, that's never reliable. You see the number of views that's got, that's not what you're getting on Spotify and Amazon. Instead, you're getting that divided by however many people are actually viewing it constantly. So, I don't know how much that is, but that's only because I'm not actually on one of those systems yet. I have friends that are. Maybe I can ask Matt about some of his experiences with this. But this is just what I know based on what my friends have told me already. I know what the cuts are, basically. I know what they're getting most of their pay from. And a little bit of my own personal experiences as well, because, let's be honest, I am serious about my music. As for the actual albums, if you're under a record label, this is where record labels pull the most asshole-ish move on you. First off, they feel they own your music. And I'm going to change the song because it's freaking me out. But the record label feels they own your music. So as soon as you change record labels, first off, that's going to be a huge issue. Because if you want to do like a throwback to an old album, you want to pull like a song from an older album or whatever, but it was recorded underneath a different record label, if that record label feels they own your music, there's a huge chance you're going to have to go through a lawsuit. And I talked about that with the 5-finger death punch thing. No, record labels, you do not own the music. The artist owns the music. You own whatever portion of that music that you made. If even that. No, you don't even own that. Because you've already gotten paid for your work on that. And on top of that, if you're under a record label, you're paying for the record label too. Artists don't have this kind of money. We're already paying for... I went over a list of equipment I need to buy. And I'll tell you this. That stuff's not cheap. So, concerning the $10K you'd have to pay to be under a record label, have all this done for you, the portion you're getting back is only half that. That's not enough to make up for the even more, maybe not so much so, the $5K you're paying on your equipment, which I have a lot of equipment around my room, so that's why I went back and did that. I don't know. But, provided equipment can be done accumulatively, but even doing it accumulatively, it's still expensive! I'm not going through a record label and then coming out with, like, nothing. You know? If I were a bigger artist, some of these, the way that these record labels work, sure, that would work out for me. But obviously I'm not that big, and even if I were that big, I know I'm getting gypped. Dude, do you realize how much more money artists could make if they weren't under a label? And the only thing they need to do is learn how to use a freaking recording system. Oh, and have friends that are in the music industry as well to help them, you know, with promotions. Provided it's really just figuring out what venues they personally apply for and such, but still, it's better than having a promoter that you're paying. If you can do something for free, do it for free. Don't pay someone. But yeah, record labels, the scum of the music business. Just had to get off of my chest. I probably talked about that billions of times, and I still can't make the message any more clear. Anyways, we're still going to have to talk about what's going on with YouTube to MP3. Obviously, the issue isn't YouTube to MP3 itself, it's the YouTube DMCA system itself. Why can I not upload a video game footage of me just doing a let's play, and yet I can upload a straight rip? And yes, this is a true story. I straight ripped a track. Remember, like I said, long time ago, I did that. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago now, before I took the channel over and made it a Let's Play channel instead. But when I made that video, I was making that a thing for the record company. We were trying to support, and I don't even know what my stance on that is anymore. Like, seriously, I just have to rethink everything on what I have a stance on, you know? Copyright, obviously, I have my stance set in stone. There needs to be a middle ground that doesn't exist. Because either way, someone's losing money. And if anybody's losing money, it should be the people who are buying the music, not the people recording it. And sometimes I think the complete opposite, because, like I said, recording labels are the scum of the earth. This is why I don't know what I think about buying music, because, yeah, I want the artist to be supported by the music, but at the same time, it's not supporting the artist, it's supporting the record label. I mean, if you really want to support that record label, I can think of a few that I like, that I would like to support. As a matter of fact, I have supported quite a few of them, but the three that I can name off the, four I can name off the top of my head is Epitaph, Nuclear, Sparrow, and I actually did mention one of the other ones. Let me just take a look at one of the albums from them that I have here. Goatee, that's the name of it. Yeah. Goatee Records, that's actually ran by Toby Mac. Haven't met the guy personally, but I would like to, because he is freaking awesome at music, and started his own freaking record label. Nobody wants to pay for anything in the music industry. That's the main issue with copyrights. I don't know how we're going to get this middle ground to exist, but it needs to exist. This is why copyright laws should have been evolved by now. It should have evolved when the music industry was evolving. When the internet age came along, there should have been an evolution in the copyright system. Obviously, we have had fair use come along, but the problem is fair use can't coexist with the laws that already exist. The laws that already exist tend to be anti-fair use. So, actually, fair use came along a little bit before the internet age due to television. And now that television's become an accepted form of media, they attack the internet a lot. So now the internet is just this giant battlefield for copyright. It drives me insane. I've probably talked... Damn, I've talked my head off for about an hour and a half. I don't know how to say that right now. I'm too tired. My throat is getting dry. I really need to end this. Also, my computer's just not handling recording this very well right now. It's telling me my encoding's overloaded. It's been telling me that for about half an hour now. So thankfully I'm not streaming this. So anyways, I guess I should probably end the video here. I tried talking about that a little bit. Obviously I'm going to point my vlog more towards this because this is what I spent the bigger portion of the vlog talking about. But hopefully you guys stuck around to that point, because it took me what, an hour to get to it? Maybe half an hour? And it was a huge point, and even then I was still rambling. It was just a huge ramble. I'll probably do it again later, because it just doesn't fit next to a vlog. Anyways, if you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to the other channels that I mentioned. I'll probably leave a link. I will leave a link in the description to those video channels. Like I said, Little Runaway Official doesn't exist yet, but when it does, I will let you guys know. So, I am pressing the stop record button now after having such an awkward ending.